Hey guys, hope you're doing well and hope you're enjoying the acid-base neutralization and titrations lesson. I wanted to make a short video on how indicators work. I think it's one of the most interesting features of this lesson, and I think maybe many of you are wondering, well, how do indicators work and why do they change color when it goes from acid to base? Let's take a look. Here we see the structure of phenolphthalein, which is the indicator that we've mentioned in the lesson. On the left side is the acidic and colorless form. On the right side is the red form in basic solution. Well, why is this? Let's take a look, for example, on the left side with acidic solution. In acidic solution, there's a lot of H+. And what happens is when there's a lot of H+ floating around, these remain what we call protonated, or they have their hydrogen protons attached. And that makes sense because there's a lot of H+ floating around. Oops. However, let's say we start adding base. What's going to happen? Well, if we add OH-, the first thing that will happen is it will neutralize these H+, and they'll form water. It'll start to become neutral. Once we get to the point where we've neutralized all the acid and we add more OH-, what will happen is it will start to pull off these protons. When it pulls off these protons, it forms this structure right here. Now this structure, its bonds are configured differently. And because its bonds are configured differently, it absorbs light, which is a form of energy that we've talked about, in a different way. And it happens to absorb light and then reflect back specifically red light because of this difference in structure. So when we add more base, it goes from colorless to red. When we see the pink color, that's basically right in the middle of this transition because these two forms are in equilibrium. They'll go back and forth depending on what's in solution. And so the pink that we see is at a certain pH and in a certain range. And that tells us basically when it goes from colorless to red that it's going from acidic to basic solution.